It's another wrestling hot take. This is gonna be long. Let's get started.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of My Hot Takes. I'm actually thinking that I might do two separate hot takes, one for AEW and one for the WWE,
Okay,
because
I
I
like
honestly
that.
don't like mixing them together. I don't know why, but I feel like having them separate is probably the better idea.
Yeah,
But anyways,
I don't know.
this is going to be still called the WWE Hot Takes, even though there's going to be some AEW in here, because I still haven't
You just call it wrestling
decided
hot
what I
takes.
wanted to do. But we're going to get to the first hot take, which is the thumbnail
If you don't mind, you could just call it wrestling hot takes. That'd be much easier. Just call it wrestling, not WWE hot takes. Just call it wrestling hot takes.
of the video, and you guys are probably saying that I'm a Big E hater, but no, that is not the case whatsoever. But I did see a lot of people saying that Big E sucks, you can't take him seriously, he's been a bad champion, he's been...
Don't get me wrong. He hasn't been serious. He hasn't. I think not every world champion has to be that serious. As much as I would love for him, do not get me wrong. I'm not saying that I don't want him to be serious. I'm just simply stating that we can have goofy moments with him. I think he can have the intensity moments, but mainly stick to being a goofball, being a goofy champion like I would expect him to. So I really don't mind him being goofy. But I would like for him when it comes to certain situations, like I expect him to be goofy when he's not face to face with someone, when he's not getting ready for a match. Like I want him to hold himself as like, I'm excited, I'm champion. I'm just excited, I'm champion. I'm just excited, I'm champion. Until like someone like Roman's in his face or Bobby Lashley's in his face, then he's like, oh yeah, okay. Like stuff like that. I'm expecting like him to get real serious from that point on. I expect him to have funny, goofy things in between all that, but the core of it all, it's not too serious, but it's like a good intensity. That's what I'm expecting from him.
underwhelmed. Let me show you guys. I don't know right here. This guy, I don't know, said, I literally can't take Big E serious. I don't know.
I mean, understandable why you can't, because I think if they wanted to make him a serious guy, they could have been did it. They could have just told him no jokes, or just throw in little jokes, but mainly at the core be serious. But at his core, he's more goofy than serious. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think that his championship reign is bad at the moment. I just don't think it's all that at the moment. I think it's a title reign, like the average one. Nothing right now has really shown me right now that I'm gonna always remember when Big E became WWE champion.
Why? And then you have Jamichael York, who says that Big E still doesn't feel like a legit
I will agree with that. He doesn't feel like a legitimate champion. It felt the same with Kofi Kingston. It felt like this isn't gonna last long. So I think that's where we're kind of sitting at with they're both sitting in the same room. This may not last long. And for Kofi Kingston's, it really didn't. And it's kind of upsetting it didn't. In the way it lost was even worse. But other than that, I mean, let him get a few more title defenses under his belt. We'll probably start taking him as a real champion from that point.
WWE champion. And even Elias Roy says that Big E is being overhyped, that he's carrying Raw, and I can't take...
I wouldn't say carrying Raw. I would say I would say he's more of a good addition to Raw of being WWE champion more of, instead of just carrying.
serious one bit. And honestly, guys, this kind of sucks to see all this happen because everybody wanted Big E to become the WWE champion one day. Everyone was ecstatic when he won the Money in the Bank and said that was a right decision. And now that he is finally the WWE champion, there are people that are hating on him. And there's a good amount of people. Like, I've not seen many people hate Bobby Lashley or Roman Reigns. This is something that's happening to Big E, I guess, because he has a more of a goofy personality. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the man is doing a great job as the WWE champion. I think he is the
Still a fantastic wrestler, though.
perfect face right now. And if you just take a look at his weekend, the man was at a football game for Fox. Then he...
Let's not talk about the whole Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury thing, bro. That was I think it was a comment that was like, he needs to do this more often. Like, that was legendary, and I was like, I wouldn't go that far, but it was good. It was very good. I liked it personally.
He went to the Wilder and Tyson Fury fight, and he even was a part of the introduction for that
Yes, it
boxing
was
fight.
very good.
He is all over the place. He's taking his WWE championship, and he looks cool with it, and he's doing all his promotional work. I think he's a great champion. I think a lot of people are just, complaining just to complain. This is what we usually get. We get WWE fans who act fickle. They wanted Big E to win the title, and
Yeah, but you have to remember, when it comes to fans, when it comes to if it's not done a specific way, there is a big problem. Sometimes they don't want it to be done in a slight kind of way. It feel lazy or something else to them. In particular, for me, I don't have a problem with him being champion, nor him being goofy. It's just I'm not gonna take it that serious until he starts, when he has moments of being serious. I enjoy seeing Biggie. I enjoy seeing him as champion. I clap for him. So yeah.
Now they don't, and that's just how it is, unfortunately. My top 10 reels says that the WWE is actually gaining viewers that they lost in the last 2 years, just slowly, and not.
No. I feel like they're not gaining it back. I feel like the only segments that even slightly get old fans back is more along the lines of, if you're saying for the last 2 years, I don't believe that they're gaining them back slowly. I think that they may be getting maybe a few of them to turn their head to maybe go back looking at the WWE product. Maybe doing a little like this, look at it, then leave. But I wouldn't say just gaining them back slowly.
I disagree with this. I don't think they're attracting that audience back. I believe that the WWE is in fact gaining new viewers that aren't the
most
same
definitely.
audience. I think it's more of a younger generation of kids who are now getting into the WWE because it's a little edgier now. It's a little cooler than what it was in the beginning of the PG era. And I think they're getting a lot of new teenagers watching the program. That's just what I think. I don't think people are coming back who used to watch the Ruthless Aggression or the Attitude Era. No, they're definitely not coming back. Those people are definitely watching AEW, but these new guys coming back and the WWE ratings going up, those are new fans.
Yeah.
Woomy Angel says that Edge versus Seth Rollins is the best feud of the year so far.
I like the feud. I actually really like it. I like the back and forth though, and I like the storytelling and things of the sort between those two. I think it's the best feud of the year. No. I think that would probably be like a Roman Reigns feud personally. Maybe I think how they're doing Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar looks pretty good right now. And it depends upon how the culmination ends. Where it looks like Paul Heyman probably going to betray Roman. And especially if Roman retains the title, it's going to look bad. If, that'd be kind of funny, personally. If he betrays him and then Roman still wins, that'd be the funniest thing in the world. But, I guess I can give them the what's the name of the year, I guess. Because it's not... I mean, it's a lot to compete against, but in a sense, how do I put this without? Because I'm trying my best to put this. I would say yes and no. They have their ups and downs to it, but I think they have mainly more ups than downs when it comes to this. The Edge and Seth Rollins is actually a pretty good rivalry. It's been going very good, very steady. It's not too stupid, nor is it to serious to like overly serious. I think it's a good mix of it. I think it's really nice. Of the year, let's give it a few more months.
And this is 100% correct. I think Edge and Seth Rollins have done a fantastic job at making their feud feel like an actual feud where two people hate each other. They've done a really good job. Their matches have been on fire. Seth Rollins versus Edge at MSG was amazing, and their match at SummerSlam was also amazing, and I cannot wait. I'm telling you, I can't wait until we get this Hell in a Cell match. It is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Cosmic says, as much as I enjoy the story with his dad, Dominic isn't ready for the main roster.
Dominic being ready for the main roster, I think it depends on how long they're gonna keep going with this storyline. It depends. I think it should go for a good year or two, maybe. Why should it be like much longer than a few months? Because for Dominic to get ready, Dominic has to have more solo matches. He has to be ready for this and things like that. And I would expect him and his dad to do a lot more matches, a little bit longer. And didn't they get drafted, right? They got drafted to Raw, right? They got drafted to Raw, right? If I'm correct. Either way go. I'm expecting them to win a title either one more time or to have a good bonding moment over a title that Dominic could win sooner or later. I would prefer later, but him being ready, he's not ready right now. Dominic is not ready for that. For a solo run. Not.
And I used to say this, but I think he is more ready now than he was before, and I'm completely fine with him being in a tag team. Like, I thought him versus Seth Rollins was a bad idea because that's a main roster player, and you don't put Dominic Mysterio, who was 23 years old, who didn't have experience that much at the time, against a top star, but him in the tag team division is completely fine. Dominic says that at WrestleMania 38, if The Rock isn't available, the main event should be either a triple threat between Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Drew McIntyre, or a fatal four-way with Bobby joining them. That is not a bad...
Okay. This is one I can agree with for lots of reasons. I think one good thing when it comes to multi-man rivalries is one good thing about it is there are so many elements that could be exploited, especially from looking at everyone's viewpoint. And looks like we have... I like the fatal four-way idea better than the triple threat idea because, let's be real, at worst, let me step back and look at both sides, if you don't mind. The triple threat idea doesn't sound bad. It doesn't look bad either. What basically one guy's pissed at, Brock would be pissed at Drew for beating him for the title and everything like that, and then Roman would be pissed at Brock for even, still being in the W, plus being pissed at Drew for being there, and probably try to sucker Drew into fighting him while he, all that. So, and plus Drew McIntyre probably be pissed at. So I guess the dynamic would be more of Brock's pissed at Drew, Drew's pissed at Roman, Roman's pissed at Brock, and it's like they just make that full triangle. But the fatal four-way makes it so much better because of a simple reason. We don't get to see the one-on-one Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley match, but we do get to see at least how that match potentially could go. Because I do expect him to throw punches. I expect him to take Roman out of the match, take Drew out the match, and probably do that little fake stare down thing that they do. When they stare each other down, the other two men come in and just start wailing on them, separating them. But I do expect him to. I said what I was expecting, but all I'm saying was, if they did a fatal four-way, and it's like a four-way rivalry like that, what's name's a free agent, so he's able to just go against Bobby and just destroy Bobby and walk away. He's able to do that, no matter what brand Bobby is on. So yeah, I guess that's actually pretty cool. I actually like the fatal four-way idea better, but yeah.
I don't think Bobby Lashley is going to join them just because I feel like, it doesn't really make too much sense. He's on Raw. But Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Drew McIntyre would be a banger triple threat match, and I would not be opposed to it. Gavin Does Everything, I can tell where he got his name from, says that Seth Rollins is the best in WWE, and he is better than the Tribal Chief.
I think he has certain elements that make him better than Roman, but overall... better than Roman, no. His character-wise, being the Monday Night Messiah, was really good, and him basically keep going with that, but just on SmackDown, then back on Raw and all that. Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong. It's just that I feel like Roman's is more popular, and it's a little more, it's a little bit more carry-worthy. Like, do not get me wrong, I'm not saying Seth can't carry. I'm just saying that simple case that Roman's a little more impactful because, Roman really never really had a full character like that, like he really should have. So, that's kind of what I'm saying.
The head of the table, Roman Reigns, and that's kind of crazy. Like, I love Seth Rollins. He is definitely a top 5 wrestler in the WWE, but he's not better than Roman in my opinion. Roman Reigns is too good. He's at a god level. He is the number 1 wrestler in the world right now, and nobody is taking that away from him anytime soon. Vermont Wrestling Fan says that Bray Wyatt would be wise enough to sign with Impact Wrestling for now because AEW's roster is too stacked at the moment.
I was making a video on this like a while back, and the video kept messing up, so I couldn't upload it. So what I said about the whole Bray Wyatt thing was I would prefer him to go to Impact. The reason I prefer him to go Impact is because, like he just stated, it's too stacked. It really is. For him, I'm not saying that he can't go to AEW. I think him going to Impact would be better for his character wise because he's able to do the creepy stick or whatever character he can come up with or whatever happens, and he's able to just destroy people and stuff like that, and be basically an Aleister Black but a little bit different, like Aleister Black, Malachi's Black character, but very different, probably less on just the kicks and things, and better at just simply like mind games and things of the sort like that. I think it makes them like a potential rivalry that I wanted to see personally. I want to see the Fiend versus Aleister Black, but I won't be able to see that, so that's fine. I'm not mad at it. It's just a case of, for rivalry's sake, I think that'll make like a future good rivalry where we could have AEW versus Impact Wrestling. So, yeah, he should go to Impact.
No, I disagree. There's no reason why Bray Wyatt should be wrestling in front of 50 people and in front of 100,000 viewers on Twitch. That just doesn't seem right to me. Bray Wyatt is much more important. I'd rather see him in AEW with limited times of him being there.
I'd rather see him in both, but mainly go to Impact
than him being on Impact Wrestling every week. Philomath says that Braun Strowman was better than Omos General.
I love playing this game. Giving a shaft in this game, it really hurts.
General Aziz, and even the Big Show when it comes to wrestling. And I gotta agree, Braun
Strowman. Yes, very much so. The big guy stick hasn't really been bad. It's just in comparison wise. Omos is a good big guy character, but I believe that he kind of not running his limit, but he's kind of starting to hit that part where it's like, okay, you're a big guy that can do big guy things. Big Show lasted very long doing big guy things and evolved to just being able to slap someone in the chest really hard, to choke slam them really hard, to KO punch them, to just being big guy again. Braun Strowman, on the other hand, even with the whole funny little choo-choo train jokes that we make, I still like Braun. I still think him being like the mother of all men or something like that. It was a cool little title for him, cool little gimmick and stuff like that. Kind of really enjoyed it. The best big man of the WWE in comparison of everyone else. Yes, I do believe he will be a golden standard. Like if they get another big guy again to like be on like Raw, SmackDown, anything like that, by far he would be like a golden standard. You have to be better than this character for you to be main event worthy. To me personally, you have to be better than this character because his character was just golden. It could be easily replacement character if someone couldn't make it or injured. He's a good replacement always.
Is definitely way better than Omos and General Aziz. I don't know about Big Show because
General
at the end of the day, Big Show is a legend. He's someone I grew up watching. Like, where?
I know what you mean. I was just saying in the sense of like Braun Strowman's character in comparison to Big Show's character. Braun Strowman's character to me was big guy. Wasn't just fat big guy. It was big guy with muscle power to it. It wasn't just like a genuine big guy that had a big fist to him. It was a genuine big guy who could just clobber, walk right through you, and there was nothing you could do about it most times. He could put on really good matches, and I'm not saying Big Show can't do the same. I'm just saying that character-wise, I would put him as a golden standard, personally.
It's the Big Show, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't disrespect the Big Show like that, so I will not. But we're going to talk about Omos and General Aziz. I don't know why Braun Strowman was released, thinking that these two other guys who weren't really ready for the WWE would take his place. I would hire him back if I was Vince McMahon. It doesn't make much sense. He wants to work for the company again. Just bring him back. Get rid of Omos and General Aziz if you want. I don't care. Braun Strowman was the real big man. This guy says that Omega versus Bryan was very good, but the marks have made it way too overrated. And no, that's wrong.
Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan was an excellent match. It was a perfect match that you can actually have when it comes in wrestling. I liked how neither side won because it did happen way too early for me personally. I would have preferred the match to not happen, and for some reason for Daniel Bryan to not be able to make that match, or Kenny Omega to not be able to make the match, because it makes it like, how do I put this? Because you know Kenny Omega's thing about not having rematches so close together. So that's what I'm kind of looking at. Like, Kenny Omega has a lot of people coming for a title, and it's not like how WWE has it structured for people coming after the title. Like we're not just gonna randomly see somebody like Xavier Woods be like, "I'm ready for title." We're not gonna see that. If we do, it's maybe for one off and that's it. But you mainly have like one person mainly going for a title, but in AEW you have like a lot of people really gunning for the title, and you can tell the face-offs that they have and everything. It's really cool, but the match didn't downgrade because people kept talking about it or people kept trying to break it down and things like that. The match still stands to me one of my favorite AEW matches, and that's saying something because I like AEW. I like a lot of AEW matches. I still like Neville versus Kenny Omega. I still love that one. But yeah.
Was there live watching it in attendance, and everybody was standing on their feet. The fire in that building was insane. I've never been in that kind of atmosphere in so long. Like, I can't even remember the last time. Maybe the Raw after WrestleMania 29. That is the last time that a crowd was that electric for a show. And the fact that Omega and Bryan brought that back was really awesome. I'm telling you, we were watching it on our feet for 30 whole minutes. You don't get that too often in wrestling. Big Garf says that The Fiend was always just okay.
No, The Fiend was not just okay. The Fiend was not the perfect character, but he was a really must needed at the time for Bray Wyatt. And he was, to me, not the perfect spooky guy character, but he had elements to him that made him different from a lot of spooky guy characters. He wasn't like the the boogeyman or something like that. It was taking tropes that they normally had for them, and they were expanding upon it. Same with Finn Balor's alter ego. They're expanding upon it with things now, which is kind of late to me personally, but I like that they were expanding on it. They were making it where he had more extra abilities. He was basically indestructible. He basically was like playing a video game kind of character. You could do all these damage to knock him down, but it was difficult to make him stay down. And it was like his life just kept regenerating while he was knocked down, and you couldn't even beat him. So that's what I liked about it personally. So that was the thing.
Hey, and no, I disagree. I think The Fiend was always awesome. He did go on the decline a little bit in his last year with the whole Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss thing. I'm not going to lie, that was kind of ass.
Yeah,
but besides that, The Fiend was a fire. Charisma says that LA Knight is the best promo in the WWE and should become a star on the main roster. The WWE made a mistake not drafting him last week.
No, they didn't make a mistake not drafting him. He needs to stay in NXT and let him get his what's name up, because the thing is with NXT, how I see NXT is not just a like another brand. I also see it as like things for like future main events, future main events and things like that, like against like people from Raw and from SmackDown, things like that. Yes, it is a drastic change because let's be real, I think NXT is like perfect for a lot of people who's coming from Impact and New Japan, things like that, because you're still able to do your old style of wrestling. I mean, not your style of wrestling in NXT, and it's fine. But when you go to the main roster, it doesn't hit as good anymore. It's really not. But personally, to me, no, I feel like personally, LA Knight should stay in NXT. Let him grow a little bit more in NXT. Let him accomplish more. Let him have more matches. Don't EC3 him. Don't throw him up too early just because he's that good. We know he's good. We know he is. And he could be so much more. So let him grow there to where he's eventually not a John Cena guy, but where he's like ready to be able to go after US title. Like, I want him to be able to pop up to the main roster and either immediately take the Intercontinental Championship or I could see him being Intercontinental Champion, probably even better than the United States Champion. But yeah, that's what I want for him personally.
And yeah, I agree with you 100%. LA Knight has got all the tools to be such a superstar in the WWE.
He does.
And he's so much better than so many other people on the roster. I would put him on Raw or SmackDown immediately, to be honest. Immediately. Right now. Icon Killer says that WWE should bring War Games to the main roster and have the Bloodline versus Hurt Business versus New Day.
You know the New Day is a two-man team right now, right? The New Day is the two-man team. Big E would have to rejoin. Roman would have to side with his cousins. And the Hurt Business, that's fine, actually. That's fine. If they do, I would expect it as like a thing that happens like every now and then, like every 2 to 3 years type thing, not every single year, because if they do it every year, it's gonna get boring. NXT does it, and we only remember every Undisputed Era, which is so funny to me. But yeah, personally to me, that would be a really good match. That would be a perfectly good match to me. I couldn't wait for it. I would expect, if I had a expectation of who wins, I'd say the Bloodline wins it, or because I'm looking at from like every individual person and how good they are in comparison wise to everybody else in there. I think it's kind of kicked the Hurt Business out, because I don't see Shelton Benjamin being the one to take home the victory. I don't see Alexander being able to do it either. I feel like it probably be either Bobby Lashley, Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Jimmy or Jay, or Roman. The only reason I don't see Shelton doing it, the only way I can see Shelton do it is if he pins Xavier Woods. Or he pins, basically he would have to pin one of the tag team members. He can't pin one of the what's-the-name members. He can't pin, he can't pin Big E, or he can't pin, that's what I'm saying, things like that. But yeah, I mean, I could see that. That'd be a really good match.
At Survivor Series, and all I gotta say is yes, 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 please. Yes, please. Killer Cam says that Hangman Adam Page has had the best long-term story in a long time, and you gotta give credit.
Yes, very much so. I like his entire thing. I liked how they were positioning him to be the AEW champion, but we got it too early, and we were like, no, he's not becoming AEW champion. It was fine. Because let's be real, you felt like he was going to win it, and he felt like he was going to win the whole thing, but it was Chris Jericho to win it. Everyone probably really wanted to be Adam Page or Kenny Omega, but it was, and then when he was getting ready to go, finally we were like, oh, this time he's getting the title. This time he's getting the title. But then they're like, no, it's gonna be Kenny. It's gonna be a Kenny. It has to be Kenny, and it was Kenny. And so I can't wait for him to eventually take out Kenny Omega. Personally, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I don't want to see other matches with Kenny Omega for the title. I am saying that Adam Page by far has got to be the guy to do it. I think he sits the best of all people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying CM Punk. CM Punk's doing his own little thing. Damn, Bryan. No. Christian, they was fantastic. Who else am I missing? There's a lot of people I'm missing. But Adam Page by far has got to be the guy to do it. He has got to be the guy to take away the title from him. Me personally. But yeah, can't wait for it.
Where it's due, AEW has done a fantastic job with Hangman Adam Page, and when he wins that World Championship, it is going to be amazing to watch it. I can't wait. Panda Penguin says Xavier Woods should be the member of the New Day to turn heel. They've run their course in my eyes, and seeing as he's the only one who hasn't won a world title, it feels fitting for Woods to do so. And I disagree. I don't think these guys should ever.
I think if they ever decide to and they wanted to solo them, which I kind of think is a mistake, I think not turning him heel, but having him do his solo thing, like, you know how Kofi was able to do a solo thing but still in the team, right? Same like that. I think if Xavier Woods won King of the Ring, I think that he should still be in part of the tag team, because he should be able to go for the Intercontinental Champion or United States Championship and be able to have a good title reign with probably United States Championship mainly. I don't really see him with the Intercontinental like that, but definitely, most definitely, the United States Championship fits him the best. And I can't wait to see him win it one day, because I will actually cheer for him when he actually does, because it's kind of not way overdue, but definitely should be done. Him turning heel, I would prefer not. I would prefer him to still be a face and grab the title and just, celebrate with Big E and and Kofi Kingston personally.
Heel, or I don't think they should break up. At this point, they should just do their own thing. You have Kofi and Xavier on SmackDown. I wish that they stayed on Raw and the New Day were still together. But, they're doing their own thing on SmackDown. Big E's doing his thing on Raw. But I think if Xavier Woods ever wins a world title, I want to see him win it with Kofi and Big E by his side. Dante says that Stone Cold versus Bret Hart does not get enough appreciation.
I'm sorry. Who said that doesn't get appreciation? Nah, go back. Who said that match didn't get appreciation? That match has always been getting appreciation. Ever since it happened, it's been getting appreciation. People put it even on the top 10 list of top wrestling matches. The WWE Games knew that it was a top match. WWE itself knows that Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin was a good match. Anyone who knows the moment knows what happened. Him bleeding and everything, and him refusing to tap, and him having to pass out. Yeah, who said this was? You know what?
What are you talking about, bro? Everybody says it's one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. Come on. Eduardo the 39 says Sami Zayn should be king of...
Okay, I can actually agree with that. I can see Sami Zayn as king of the ring. I wouldn't mind it. Actually, I would clap and think that would actually be pretty funny. I think that it would fit his character to lose, though. So he can be like, see, WWE it's rigged. Everything's rigged. I want to see that personally, though.
The ring, that would not be a terrible choice. If you think about it, Sami Zayn would do a fantastic and hilarious job as the King of the Ring, but unfortunately, he will not be going to Saudi Arabia, so that is just impossible. Morgan Crunch says Omos can be the next Andre the Giant, and there's no way Andre the Giant...
No. There can't be another Andre the Giant. The closest we will ever get is Big Show by far. Big Show by far is it. That's it. That's the closest we will ever get. We're not getting a copy of old wrestlers like this ever again. Roddy Piper, we're not getting another version of. We're not getting someone else to copy him. Even if they try it, they'll probably get a little success, but they're not getting the Wrestling success that he had. No, we're not getting. No.
Is literally a legend, an icon. He's one of the GOATs of professional wrestling. He changed the game. He is someone that everyone knows. There's no way Omos can ever be the next Andre the Giant. It's just not possible. NH says that Crown Jewel this year is great. I'm talking about the card, not the location. And yet...
Yes, by far the card looks to be a better one. Just the main event by itself just screams, yeah, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a really good one. I personally can't wait for it. Can't wait to see this match. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I'm so excited. Oh, October 21st. That's funny. I can't wait for the personally. I wish it was like today, right now. Wish I was there. Wish I knew how everything was gonna end. I really. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this. I'm so excited.
Crown Jewel actually looks like a really good card, and it's probably due to the fact that the WWE isn't just using a bunch of old people like John Cena, Triple H, and whatnot to build the show. It's actually being built around the show that we're watching on a weekly basis with all the young superstars. So they've done a good job. I'm not going to lie. That Random Jacob says Sammy Guevara should not have been the one to defeat Miro for the TNT title. And
debatable. I say it's debatable because I remember when I saw he won it, I was like, he won? He beat him? What? It surprised me, yes, but I kind of like him winning the title. I don't know how it's going to look for him so far because right now, don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm not watching any segments from AEW or anything like that. It's just this okay that certain characters I don't really know what to say about, and he's in the situation of character I don't know what to say about. I don't know what to say about his character. I'm not sure what to say about anything that he's, anything like that. I wanted him to win the title, yes, but I didn't know when he was going to win, and I'm glad that he won it, and I'm actually really happy that he's the one to beat Miro. But at the same time, I kind of wish Miro had like a little bit longer of a reign. I know he kind of ran its course, but it's fine. I kind of feel like he could have had a lot more matches for that title, just a few more in particular. Malachi Black.
I disagree with you, Jacob, because honestly, it was a good choice. Sammy Guevara has been with the company for so long now, and this was just the right moment, in my opinion. And Colin18 says that they should end the brand split and...
No. The reason they shouldn't end is because if as much as I will understand certain times of having it not matter at certain times. That's fine, but just overall ending it, no. The reason that is then we'll just get Roman Reigns everywhere. Roman Reigns NXT. Roman Reigns 205 Live. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. Oh, NXT UK. You mean Roman Reigns? You know that. It would be too much of that. Way too much. I think it being like a separate thing is nice. And having moments of it not mattering is fine as long as it makes sense storytelling wise. But other than that, don't end it. Have moments of it not mattering, but overall, it's yeah.
Looking at the roster, I am not against this idea. I want to get more in depth into this later on in a different video. But the brand split ending might not be a bad thing. It might help the ratings, if anything. And it might also make fans want to watch Raw and SmackDown. They just have to do it the right way.
Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. Can't wait to talk about 5 wrestlers who are going to be a huge star. Alright, I'm dipping. Oops. I kept flipping my phone back and forth.